What's up, everybody? Co-host here from the Visions and Watches podcast, and here we are. Well, again for our
What's up, everybody?
weekly
Co-host here from the
WWE
podcast.
review, where we come here and review Raw and Smackdown and give our thoughts on it. And as you see, our host is not here. We have a new member here. Why don't you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, I am Squared Circle Wrestling, and I have a YouTube. You can check it out. It's Squared Circle Wrestling. Yeah. Hello.
All right, that was it. Okay, now let's get into what else started the weekend. That is Monday Night Raw, and how Monday Night Raw started was pretty good. Where do you think we should start with this Raw review?
Why don't I go ahead and get a list of all matches?
All right.
Matches on Raw. 19. 6. Okay. Okay, so the first match, actually, the Raw opened with Roman Reigns, and the crowd erupted in boos, obviously. And he starts talking when Stephanie enters, and she says that she and Mick will have to run the show. Wait. Oh, she says they have a show to run even if Roman...
Elijah Griffin.
So yeah, Roman Reigns wants to fight for... I don't even know what I'm saying right now.
It's cool, bro. That's why name Botches is in the name. It's all right.
Yeah. So Roman Reigns basically gets a match at Clash of Champions against Russo for the United States Championship. That was the first segment.
What did you think of that segment? Before I give what I thought.
You can go first. There was basically a couple of people came out. And,
Yeah. Well, what you can do with this feud is going the booking wise is doing pretty well. You're seeing what we're doing of not having Roman Reigns being this big, strong main card that really doesn't get in with the crowd. But if you see what you can do and book him correctly as a mid carder, you can get the cheers that he used to have and not have the crowd erupt in boos anymore.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, it is good booking right now. And I'm starting to like Roman Reigns a little bit more because his mic skills have gotten better since he returned from being suspended. So their match at the last pay-per-view, or not the last pay-per-view because he was in a different feud at the time since Rusev was out for the wedding, but yeah, he put on a pretty good match with the other four in the Fatal 4-Way.
Yeah, I totally agree, man. Well, that's all it led up to. It led up to Mick Foley, led up to the match, and then after we had all that, I believe that we had the best out of seven series for Cesaro and Sheamus.
Yes. I didn't see much of that match because I kind of already knew who was going to win because WWE usually brings the match out to as many, for example, in a 2 out of 3 falls match, they always give one person the fall and then the other person the fall and then it's the last fall. So like in this match, you knew it would be 3-3.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we can only see where this actually goes going into Clash of Champions, but we really don't know what they're really gonna do with this. Probably give Sheamus that one final win, probably.
Yeah, Sheamus has actually been looking really good in this feud. Surprisingly, since he was just basically this feud was just thrown together, in my opinion. So even though it was thrown into it, he's been doing pretty good.
Yeah, he really does been doing good. Totally agree. Okay, now we had a Charlotte Dana Brooke talking with Mick Foley about how she shouldn't defend her title at Clash of Champions since no one actually won the match before. And then Dana Brooke suggested that it should be a number one contenders match, and then Mick Foley turns it into a triple threat match.
Yes, I am actually really happy about the match at Clash Champions. I think all the three women will put on a pretty good match, especially since the women division has evolved massively since the Revolution started, and these three women definitely will put on a great match, especially with Bailey just making her debut. All three women, I've been waiting for all three of them on the same roster, so this will be pretty cool, I think.
Yeah. We can only see if what happens at Clash of Champions if they're actually going to change the titles at any type of way or anything. But we can only see what WWE actually does with this booking.
Yeah, hopefully WWE does the right thing and books it decently.
Yeah. Okay. We had a Seth Rollins versus Rusev match that actually ended in a draw. Um, uh, Me personally, I don't like matches ending in draws because I really want to see the action happening here. But in this case, the draw actually ended pretty well. How do you think this draw ended? Was it good? Was it bad?
I actually think the draw was booked really good because I think WWE was trying to protect both of them by not giving either of them a loss, because obviously Roman Reigns is competing for Rusev's United States Championship, and they want to make Rusev look strong before his match. And then Seth Rollins is also facing Kevin Owens for the Universal Championship. So I think they're trying to make him look strong as well, just to make them look like, worthy competitors. So
Uh, yeah.
I think they made a double draw just to make them look strong, but also they wanted to make them both look strong without making one look weaker than the other.
Yeah, but at this case, Seth Rollins was the one that came out on top because him facing the Universal title. But after that, the match we had was Braun Strowman defeated Sin Cara, and of course, what was a pretty much a squash match. I really don't really like squash matches. I think it's just pointless. Sure, you want to show this guy is pretty big and strong, but you kind of need to have a story to him and have him have a worthy competitor, not him just like destroying every jobber or little competitor that they go through.
Yeah, I see. Sin Cara used to actually fight for like reasons, but now it seems like WWE is just using him for like not good matches. Like they're trying to make Braun look strong, obviously, but we get it now. Like the squash matches have been happening since the brand split, and I liked it at first. It was actually pretty cool at first because we haven't had those in so long, but now it's just getting repetitive and like we don't really need it anymore.
Yeah, the only thing we can do with Braun Strowman is actually give him a loss, depending on who is the right person to beat him. That's all I can say for it.
I
What?
Yeah, I think that's what the storyline's gonna lead to.
Yeah. Okay, now we had a tag team match. Charlotte and Brooke actually defeated Sasha and Bailey. What I thought of this match, it really did make all three of the competitors going to Night Champion really did look good, even though Bailey had the one that got the loss. But you can probably make up for that for her performance at Clash of Champions.
Definitely. And I think I'm starting to notice that it looks like there's a little like storyline tension building between Sasha Banks and Bailey. It looks like they're starting to like not be as friendly to each other as they were in the beginning, probably because they're going for the same championship. And obviously, it's probably going to lead to a storyline or break a friendship later on. I can see that happening. But
Yeah,
anyways, about the match, like, yeah, it was pretty good, and it made all three competitors look strong, even though Bailey got the loss, as you said. So I still think they'll put on a great match, though, and make up for any of the losses that they've had in the past.
yeah, I agree kind of agree with that. They could actually do a Sasha Bailey feud in from NXT again, but do it how WWE wants to, not NXT wanted to do it. And with this, I think for Charlotte and Dana Brooke, they haven't been in the same page, but in this match, they had been on the same page. But I think it may lead to a potential breakup with them if
Yeah.
Charlotte keeps on ruining Charlotte's opportunity, like to not defend her title.
Yeah, I agree with that. It it seemed like I think a Sasha Banks and Bailey feud would be pretty cool to see. Even though we saw it in NXT, I think it'd be cool to see it on the actual like main roster.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, after that, we had a Seth Rollins Stephanie McMahon feud. It was basically just Seth Rollins basically her interrogating Stephanie McMahon about him still being pissed off about what happened last time in the Fatal 4 match on the Universal title, him Triple H costing him the title, and she's saying she didn't know anything about it, but Seth Rollins still thinks she does. What do you think?
I think honestly this storyline has been pretty good. I actually like this storyline, him trying to figure out because he's a tweener right now. He's not really face and he's not really heel because he's not acknowledging the fans like a face usually does, but he's not using heel tactics to win his matches and stuff. So he's a tweener and he's trying to figure out if Seth or Mick really knew about it. And I kind of want to see Triple H return and him like talk about because I know they're trying to save it for WrestleMania because I think they're trying to do a match between Triple H and Seth. So I don't really think we're gonna get an answer until later, but it's still I really like this storyline. I really do.
Yeah, it was kind of cool what they're doing with this. Yeah, I totally agree. Seth Rollins is not a face, he's not a heel, but he is getting pretty over with the fans, and we could probably see a full-on face turn, not that like that nudge or peek at the face turn when he attacked Kevin Owens last week.
Definitely, yeah.
Okay, now after that we got a Bo Dallas squash match when he beat up a guy from the name of Gary Graham. Now, what do you think of this new Bo Dallas?
You know, I actually find it funny how he got uh, arrested for being publicly intoxicated, and then he all of a sudden gets a push.
Yeah,
I think it was a coincidental timing because WWE would not give someone a push, especially since it's like a PG friendly show. Um, but I don't really like Bo that much, and I don't think I ever will, even if he's getting squash matches and pushes and stuff. I just don't really like his gimmick at all, really.
well, I personally think this is okay. They're kind of probably giving back to his heel time when he was at in NXT and he was NXT champion. That's probably the only thing that they're probably doing with this.
Yeah, that seems like it. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, after this, we got a Chris Jericho when he made a list of probably complaints he had on Mick Foley and Raw, which led to all the face tag teams and all the heel tag teams coming in, starting up a huge ball and lead up to the 10-person tag team match. Do you think this was pushed
Uh,
correctly? What do you think?
I like the segment, and also I liked it because it led up to a 10 tag team match, which I always like when a bunch of people are in a tag team match, like at Survivor Series, for example. But that's for another time. Um, but yeah, I liked the match. The match was pretty good, and then I also liked when the brawl like broke out. It was funny because you could see. I don't know if you saw this, but in the corner, like by near the turnbuckles, Xavier Woods was on top of the ropes, and he was recording and was screaming World Star," and he was
Oh,
recording a
really?
Twitter video for it. It was pretty funny.
Wow. Well, that's Xavier Woods. He's just amazing. Well, after that match, we had the face teams winning with Enzo and Cass getting the pin, and I guess it kind of sort of benefits everybody for the faces here. It benefits the New Day by having them winning with the club or Luke Gallows, well, yeah, the club. Sami Zayn continuing his feud with probably short feud with Chris Jericho and Enzo and Cass with their thing with the Shining Stars.
Yeah, it definitely benefited all of them, even though the heels got the loss. But the heels can take a loss because they can always turn it into a complaint or whatever. But the faces really needed a win, and I'm glad they got it.
Yeah. Now we probably had what everybody was most in the crowd was most popped for was the cruiserweight fatal four-way number one contender for the cruiserweight championship. What did you think of this match?
That match was really good. That was probably the best match of the night. The Fatal Four Way, it was a Fatal Four Way, right?
Yeah, it was a fatal four-way.
Okay, I'm just making sure. Yeah, yeah, it was a really good match between all of them, and I was really excited to see it because we haven't had a cruiserweight division in who knows how long, and just to see all the men compete in a high flying match was really cool.
Yeah, who got it ended up with the win was Brian Kendrick, which kind of sort of surprised me. I would have thought they would have gave Grand Maletic to win and have a Cruiserweight Classic rematch at Classic Champions. That'd been really cool, but like we saw in the Cruiserweight Classics, everybody gave good flips and technical wrestling that we wanted to see getting back to that old Cruiserweight that we used to have in the Attitude Era.
Yeah, I was surprised when Brian Kendrick won too. I was really hoping Grim Metallic, but I didn't. I guess they're like trying to save that match for later on because with TJ Perkins just winning it, we don't want to see him lose it that quick because that takes away his like credibility. So I think they're just trying to save that and maybe give him the win later down the line.
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree, man. But okay, now here we have is the main event: Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens in a steel cage match. With this match, I was really excited, surprised this was a steel cage match because we haven't seen that in a little while for a main event on Raw. No, what did you think of them going with this and having this as a match for the main event?
I was not expecting a steel cage match at all. It was pretty cool. The match I didn't really see much of because um I was doing other stuff as well as watching the show, but I watched the highlights after all went off the air. I watched the highlights they put on the channel, YouTube channel, and the match seemed pretty good from what I saw. Kevin Owens, uh, actually no, Kevin Owens didn't pick up the victory. Roman Reigns won, which was kind of surprising to me. Um, because
I guess with that they were just like probably having Rusev attack him and having Kevin Owens and Rusev basically attacking Roman Reigns in a steel cage, and then Seth Rollins technically didn't save Roman Reigns. He was just going after Kevin Owens climbed the steel cages and jumped off it and landed on both of them, which was really, really cool.
Oh, I guess I didn't see that part, but yeah, that sounds pretty cool. Yeah, sounds cool.
Yeah. Okay. What I would have to Raw did pretty good with their last show going into their official pay-per-view. They did pretty good. Well, I have to say, probably give this show a 6 out of 10. What about you overall?
Yeah, they did a pretty good job. Since they're going into their first exclusive pay-per-view, I'm gonna have to give it let's see, maybe 6.5 out of 10.
Hmm. All right. Now we are done with Raw. Let's go into SmackDown Live. We after Backlash, AJ Styles winning the WWE title. He was shown off as a heel. He was. But before we get into AJ Styles, let's go into the first match: the Usos versus American Alpha, the new heel Usos. What do you think of the match and the new heel Usos?
Okay, I haven't been interested with the Usos since their run as tag champs back in 2014 or 2015. Can't really remember which year it was, but now I'm completely invested in them again. They're pretty good as heels. I didn't think they could be that good as heels, and they took away their face paint. They took away those. They changed their entrance theme where they don't do the screaming at the beginning, and that completely shows that they're heels and they don't care about injuring anyone. Obviously, because they used they injured what's it called? They injured Chad Gable during the match again, like they did at Backlash. They kept the storyline going of that, and then I thought it was really good storytelling when um, Jason Jordan decided to not tag in Chad because he was injured and he wanted to like save his teammate so that he wouldn't get more injured than he already was.
Yeah, yeah. I kind of sort of see what you're saying with that. With the American Alpha taking the loss here, it's not a complete loss. Of the Usos having them win, showing off these their new character booking as them being heels. You gotta give them those wins so you can actually have them be believable heels and not just this tag team that would probably heel like for a month and a half and automatically turn face. Like I like.
Yeah.
Okay, after that we had Baron Corbin versus Apollo Crews again.
Um.
But it was pretty simple. Baron Corbin got the win. It wasn't a complete squash match. It wasn't. Uh, there was no post match. I saw he just Apollo Crews did give it all in his match, but Baron Corbin can win. If you did see his match, what did you think of it?
I'm tired of seeing them uh, in a match together. I like. I don't really like either of these guys because Apollo Crews, he's okay. Like I see he wants to do good in the WWE because everyone does, but he doesn't really have like a good character or gimmick. Like I don't really know his backstory. I don't really know like how he got his way into WWE. And Baron Corbin, I just don't like him at all. Like he has a bad attitude. Like I know that might be his gimmick, but it seems like backstage he just doesn't really want to be here. Like he puts on like basically the only thing I like about him is his end of days finisher.
Well, yeah, well, no, that's pretty believable. That's probably just maybe his gimmick on him being the just this person who just comes into the arena and just beats people up. Well, that's what you're supposed to do as a sort of heel. But there are leading up. to a Jack Swagger Baron Corbin feud. What do you think of them slowly booking this?
When Jack Swagger came to SmackDown, um, I don't think really anyone cared because he hasn't really been important that much since a long time. Basically, he lost all his momentum when he decided to smoke that good stuff. So yeah, he kind of lost all his push, but now it seems like WWE is starting to push him again, and maybe they'll put on a good feud. We don't really know. We'll have to wait and see on that one.
Oh yeah. Maybe they could rebuild Jack Swagger. But after that, we had a WWE Intercontinental Championship defense against the Miz and Dolph Ziggler, which they really did pull it off their all. But the Miz came up with the win using again with the spray that his wife Maurice gave it to him. But even though I did not like how the way the Miz actually wins his matches, I really do like his IC Championship defense. How about you? How do you like it?
Yes, The Miz is probably one of my favorite superstars in WWE right now. I love his heel character, and I love how I honestly truly believe that might beat Honky Tonk Man's championship reign. It really seems like they're trying to make it go for as long as possible, and that'd be pretty cool to see the longest reigning IC champ because we haven't seen that in a while. And they really did put on a good match. Dolph Ziggler was basically he was probably going to win, and then Miz had to use the heel tactics with the spray. So, but yeah, Dolph put on a really good match. Both did.
Yeah. We could maybe those rumors of them maybe having another rematch at a steel cage match. So there's no way he could probably cheat or anything because no, I think there's no rules in a steel cage match.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Oh, sorry.
that's fine. The match we had again was Randy Orton versus Eric Rowan, which was. What did you think of that match? I don't know what.
Aaron Owen versus who? I don't even remember that
Randy
match.
Orton.
Oh, Randy Orton.
Yeah.
I don't even remember that match, so it probably wasn't.
I remember a portion of it. It was just Eric Rowan basically like having the upper hand throughout most of the match. Randy Orton got a couple of hits in and then RKO out of nowhere. One, two, three. That's probably it. That's it. That's all the match was. And then Bray Wyatt um uh, came out, gave one of his good old promos that he usually does very well in cutting, and then he just gave like Randy Orton in the Bray Wyatt a more feud to go through.
Yeah, I kind of like the Bray Wyatt Randy Orton feud because it's fresh. Like we haven't seen them like in a feud before, obviously. Um, but I kind of like what they're doing. Like at Backlash, they did the backstage segment where he beat up his ankle because his shoulder was injured and he wasn't cleared to compete. And then now they're continuing the feud after he's cleared to compete now, and I kind of want to see this feud go on for a little longer.
Really? Okay. We had a women's tag team match: Nikki Bella and Naomi versus Natalia and Carmella, which really wasn't much of a match at all since Carmella just basically destroyed Nikki Bella during the middle of the match and got Nikki Bella counted out.
Yeah, I don't really like Carmella's heel run right now. She she's kind of annoying to me, to be honest. Like not to be rude, but she seems kind of annoying. But I realize they have to have a couple of heels on the SmackDown brand, so I kind of wanted to see that match but we've sort of seen it before when we saw the match at Backlash, so I'm not too mad about it. But yeah, it was kind of cool seeing the brawl, like downright brawl between the two women. So it was cool.
Yeah, we could maybe see this ending in a few. Not sure why Carmella always goes after Nikki Bella during all her matches, but we can probably see where they're going with this. Now, the main event, Dean Ambrose versus John Cena. I think this match was pretty decent. Excuse me, it's pretty cool that Dean Ambrose actually pinned Cena clean in the roll pin. Then AJ Styles came got this triple threat feud match from No Mercy up and going, and then Daniel Bryan came out and made it a the next week Smackdown AJ Styles versus Ambrose for the world title. What did you probably think of all this match and then Daniel Bryan making the match?
Um, the match was pretty cool. Seeing Dean Ambrose pin John Cena clean was a big surprise because you don't really see this off that often, especially like when AJ won at SummerSlam. That was a huge surprise as well. But yeah, the match was pretty good. They both put up a good match. Obviously, I keep repeating myself, but yeah, they put on a good match. And then Daniel Bryan confirming that AJ Styles and Dean Ambrose fighting for the championship next SmackDown was really a really cool announcement. I'm pretty excited for it, even though probably everyone wants to see AJ keep the title because he's been a really good champion so far. I really like his the storyline going where he's like talking about his win against John Cena over and over. It's pretty cool, and I like how he's bragging about it. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, AJ Styles is a really good heel. I really did like where they're go. I really did like the heel. I didn't like the heel turn at first, but now how they're booking it, it's really good. And I would like to see actually him keep the title, having him defend it, and then win it at SmackDown.
Yeah, yeah, that was yeah.
All right. What did you think of actually Dean Ambrose standing tall at the end? Do you think they should have had AJ standing tall or Dean standing tall at the end of the?
I actually agree with him having Dean stand tall at the end because that makes Dean look strong going into the match next night on SmackDown, next Tuesday on SmackDown, because they need to make him look strong. Even though he had just won the match with John Cena, I think it was still a good call because he needs to look strong going into that match because it's pretty obvious that AJ is gonna keep the title. First off, because he just won it, and second of all, they usually have the opponent or the challenger for the title win if he's gonna lose the next time. So they're just making him look strong. But we all know AJ Styles is gonna keep it.
Yeah, I really do agree. Okay, since we reviewed Raw and SmackDown, it is now time to see if any. Do you have any questions for us coming into the live chat? Okay, Phoenix, the gamer here says Roman Reigns is not doing very well, in my opinion. I mean, he's doing all right. What do you think?
Uh, I actually think Roman Reigns is doing pretty good, especially when he returned from his suspension. I think he's doing pretty good. He's been better on the mic, especially, which was what everyone was disliking. But yeah, I think he's doing pretty good. So
All right, will you do Clash of Champions predictions? Actually, we will. The host actually will be here tomorrow. Will we do Clash of Champions predictions? Well, okay. Someone Blade says, "Wow, really? The cruiserweight title is being defended this early?" I
Uh,
mean,
I I think the cruiserweight title should be defended. Like, you can't just have a guy hold it and not do anything with it. And plus, the we want to see a cruiserweight title match because that means they're going to put on an even better match than they did on Raw, which is really exciting.
yeah, I do. Yeah, we can't. I understand where some people are going. He just got there, and he didn't even wrestle one match at Raw. Book his character before he defends his title at a pay per view, but we kind of, sort of, got that character booking through his backstory at the Cruiserweight Classics.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Phoenix the Gamer said, "Really, Swagger did Kush?"
Uh, yeah, I don't really even care about Swagger anymore, so I could care less if he's getting a push. Like, I don't know if he is. It just sort of seems like it with him going. But I mean, him going against Baron Corbin isn't really a push, to say the least. But if he is getting one, good for him. If he's not, I don't really care.
Huh. So again says, "I liked Carmella better when she was with Enzo and Cass."
I definitely agree with that. I think they should have. See, I like her as a wrestler, but I also like her as a manager. So I think if they put her on Raw with Enzo and Cass, I think she still could have been a part of the women's division while also being their manager. I think that would have worked out okay. But I get why she's on SmackDown because you got to have as much women as possible because there's limited women on the roster at the moment.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that too. Something tells me WWE wants her name not to be just remembered just from Enzo and Cass, which everybody knows her from, but booking this heel Carmella like thing and having her actually do all this heel tactics may or may not have her being her own women's wrestler, being her own character.
Yeah, she sort of is starting to make a name for herself, which is pretty good for her.
Yeah, another one says, since Ziggler lost, where does he go from here?
Uh, if they do book him in another championship match with The Miz, um, I'm okay with that. But I think if they do book him one more time, I think that should be the the end for him as going for the IC title because that would be his third or fourth time going for it. So I'm sort of tired of this feud now. But honestly, I don't really know where he goes from here. Like, I don't have any ideas of who he could face going forward.
Yeah, with Ziggler, it's very weird. He used to be like this wrestler type guy. Like when you hear his theme song, he used to get that really really good pop before the brand split actually happened, and really don't know why he actually lost that momentum and type. You know what I was saying, like how he lost all that. It was pretty weird how he lost all that. I guess they can just like try to get that back.
Yeah, I don't really know if he can get that back though because he's kind of like with all these losses, he's kind of losing his connection with all his fans, and I think some of his fans are starting to transition over to new superstars.
Um, yeah. You can all we can say for Dolph Ziggler is poor Dolph Ziggler. That's all.
One like equals one prayer.
Yeah. Let me see what else is within the questions because I lost the link of it. Uh, what do you think of the new women's division? Uh,
Um,
Raw is, let's say both Raw and SmackDown.
okay. Um, Honestly, I think it's the same division. It's just new women, which is refreshing. They've been given more time, um, and they've been putting on better matches because they've gotten more time. So I think it's just basically the same thing. It's just the new women are making a name for themselves, and WWE noticed that, so they decided to give them a chance. Hashtag give divas a chance. So they changed them to women. They gave them the women's title, and I'm pretty happy with both divisions. I think SmackDown has been doing a little bit better with their women, but uh, the women's title on Raw has been okay, especially since they have Bailey, Sasha, and Charlotte.
Yeah, with Raw, with the women's division, you probably only have like those big name women's wrestlers, and with SmackDown, you have these kind of sort of new name women like Alexa Bliss. You have those new women, and you could see what you're actually doing with them. Because
Yeah,
with
definitely.
yeah, with a small division with only like literally six women's wrestlers in that title, you could like literally every single, like I said before, every single competitor in the women's division of SmackDown can be a champion.
Yeah, they could give a title run to each woman and not have a problem with it. On the other hand, Raw only has basically three or four, if you're including Dana Brooke, which she isn't that big, but she's getting known by Sasha's side. But you really only have those four women that have really been given like a chance to shine. And I guess you could include Nia Jax if you really wanted to, but she's just been squash matching people. So
Yeah, I guess. How do you feel about Kurt Hawkins?
they okay, I'm confused because they said that he was going to be having a match like two SmackDowns ago, and he did have a match, but it was I think it was like a dark match. So I don't really understand why they haven't made him debut yet.
Yeah, he had two matches. One was a pre-show match, and one was a dark match.
Oh, okay. So I don't watch the pre-show, so that's why I didn't see
Yeah,
him.
and I don't watch the pre-shows either. I don't think they didn't even show his match in the pre-show when I first like searched it on YouTube. They didn't show it on the live pre-show panel that they do. They just like I just saw from a fan recording it.
Oh, yeah, I don't see like because they said he was going to debut yet. No one who actually like watches only the actual show have seen him, so I'm waiting to see him. I'm kind of excited for him to actually debut, but I'm tired of waiting.
Yeah, well, I kind of agree. I am tired of him waiting. I guess it's only a matter of time about what they're doing with this. They could maybe give him a match, maybe with not a jobber, maybe with a big name superstar when he debuts into the WWE.
Yeah, maybe like Kane or something since he's been around for so long.
Yeah, I think Kane is the guy for Kurt Hawkins to probably beat in his debut match.
Yeah.
All right. What do you think of Shane's position in SmackDown and how he's been working?
Um, Shane's been okay. Uh, I kind of like Daniel's position better because I don't really know how to explain. He's been doing good with booking matches. Like I know they don't actually book the matches, but with him announcing the matches, it's been making him look good. But Shane, on the other hand, he's doing like I like Shane. He's been doing okay as commissioner, but he's I don't know. I don't know. I don't really know how to explain it.
I probably with me I do like Shane, but Daniel has been doing. more work than Shane has been doing in SmackDown since Shane is a the general manager,
Commissioner, yeah.
no, commissioner. Yeah.
Yeah, it's surprising seeing a general manager do more than a commissioner, but that's just what they're doing, I guess, booking wise.
Yeah. Are the both of you excited for WWE 2K17 when it drops?
Yes, I'm really excited because uh it looks really cool. Like all the new stuff that they've added is really cool. Like the new My Career mode with becoming a Paul Heyman guy. I think that's really cool and interesting. And the backstage brawl seems really cool. The uh, not the stage fighting, the crowd fighting seems really cool. It just seems like it's gonna be an amazing game.
Yeah, probably like the best maybe WWE game that they have made in a while.
Yeah, and I can't even I can't even believe what 2K18 is gonna look like.
Yeah,
But that's really far away, so we can only
yeah,
stick with 2K17 right now.
yeah. Well, I'm seeing at the time we're almost close to what has have been an hour talking to you guys and just and asking your questions and just reviewing SmackDown and Raw. So I think for these guys, well, for now, when we get to this, we discuss WWE rumors and what they have been. So if any of you have any rumors that if you guys like to discuss, you can drop them in the chat. There's checking news. There's this like I heard of this really weird rumor that's probably not gonna be that popular, and it's like they're making a movie on Crispin Watts murder suicide.
I heard
Uh,
that
yeah, it's probably gonna be like a documentary or something.
they're probably gonna try and make him seem innocent, which he could be. I don't really know. It's kind of there's both theories on it, but continue.
Yeah, they're probably just gonna like agree with you, just try to make him look like he was, despite what he did, he was still probably a good wrestler and friend to the pay per view and locker room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard a rumor that which actually two rumors that seem like they are actually going to happen. One, as I said earlier, the Triple H and Seth Rollins feud. I think it's going to continue until WrestleMania 33, where they are going to fight. That leads all the way back to Raw. Like it's going to be cool seeing them in 2017 going at it in WrestleMania, which leads all the way back to when they turned. Uh, or when Seth Rollins turned not really face, turned tweener, and we can all remember back to that amazing Raw where Kevin Owens became champ. And then also the other one was where John Cena and Undertaker are going to compete. I think it's said that that's going to be Undertaker's last match at WrestleMania.
If I think that's one of the most popular and what's going to be the most true rumors out of all of them.
Yeah,
That's what I probably
and it
think.
makes sense for like it's not going to be the most popular decision for John Cena to be the one to like be his last opponent, but it's the most reasonable for him. Like he's basically, even though AJ Styles says he's the face of the company, he's really not, and that's just the storyline. John Cena, I think, truly is the best opponent for his last match.
Yeah, but maybe I just think maybe John Cena probably shouldn't get the win depending if you're booking as a face or a heel.
That's true. We probably do. I think they should book them saying no matter what, it is Undertaker's last match, and then they can give Undertaker the win as his last match. Like I think they should just not say if Undertaker loses, he's not in like he's fired from WWE. I think they should just say it's his last match and he's gonna get the win.
Yeah, yeah. Isn't what did one live question chat says? Did you see the 2K17 DLC pack?
Yes, I actually just watched that today. It was interesting because are the club like Gallows and Anderson actually in the game, or they are? I guess they have to be just in the DLC if um
Yeah, they're probably just DLC.
because now I'm sad
Yeah.
because I don't really get the DLCs, so now I won't be able to play as the club who are probably going to become the new tag champs, and now you can't even play as them unless you get the DLC.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But
It's
yeah,
it,
all the other DLC stuff seems really cool.
yeah, it's pretty like for me. It's like oh yeah, like but it's all about WWE and 2K probably making money. That's all.
Yeah, and the DLC stuff is actually pretty expensive,
Yeah, yeah,
especially with the game alone costing like what, $60, and then you got the DLC if you want everything in one, it's like $25, and then if you want to buy certain stuff separately, it costs like $9. It's
yeah.
expensive.
I probably may spend most of that money just to get Nakamura, maybe.
Yeah, and I might just get it because the new generation or the new top stars or whatever it's called.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh, what else does the common questions say? What's to, what is, do you guys like TNA?
Uh, I can't watch TNA because I don't have the channel for it, but from what I've heard, it's decent. I don't think people like it as much as WWE, but from what I've heard, it's okay. I can't really watch it because I don't have my company that I use. I guess I don't really know much about the TV stuff, but my I don't have the channel for it, so I can't really watch it.
Ugh, yeah, me too. I just probably the only thing I know about TNA is probably Broken Matt Hardy. That's it.
Yeah, that's the only thing I know too.
Yeah. We have almost hit an hour of this, so we are going to sign off because we have gone too far for the official Vision Watchers podcast time limit. So I would like to thank you guys for joining the stream, joining the chat, and asking us your questions. And we also love answering the questions and having discussions. And if you haven't yet, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share with your friends. What do you have to say to them?
Yes, thank you for watching. Be sure to go subscribe to my channel, Squared Circle Wrestling. And yeah, be sure to like this video for him. And yeah,
Yeah, well, again, don't forget to join us tomorrow when we do Clash of Champions predictions. And don't worry, the host will be here with maybe all three of us, maybe.
maybe we'll see.
Yeah, well, we'll see you tomorrow night, everybody's co-host signing out.
Goodbye.